Caitlin Clark injury derails Fever playoff hopes. The Indiana Fever's playoff ambitions were dealt a crushing blow when rookie Caitlin Clark was officially ruled out for the remainder of the 2025 WNBA season. Clark, who injured her right groin in mid-July, had been sidelined for several weeks with hopes of a late return. Upon further medical evaluation, the Fever announced in early September that their star guard would not be coming back this season, leaving Indiana to navigate the most important stretch of the year without the player who had transformed the franchise's identity. Clark's rookie campaign had already been interrupted by multiple setbacks. Before the groin injury ultimately ended her season, she had missed time with a left quad strain, a separate groin issue, and a bone bruise in her ankle. When she was healthy, she showed why she was one of the most hyped prospects in WNBA history. Across just 13 games, she averaged 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Her ability to stretch the floor with deep three-pointers and orchestrate the offense created spacing that elevated teammates like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. For a Fever franchise that had struggled for nearly a decade, Clark's arrival promised a long-awaited turnaround. The problem for Indiana is that her absence comes at the exact moment when every possession matters. Entering September, the Fever were fighting for playoff seeding in a competitive Eastern Conference. Though they ultimately secured a postseason berth, just their second since 2016, the roster has been battered by injuries beyond Clark's. Sophie Cunningham was lost to a torn MCL, Sydney Colson suffered an ACL tear, Ari McDonald broke her foot, and Chloe Bibby went down with a knee injury. That left Indiana short on guards and wings, forcing head coach Christy Sides to lean heavily on a shortened rotation. Without Clark, the Fever lose more than just scoring. Her playmaking is irreplaceable, as she ranked among the league leaders in assists per game. In her absence, the Fever's offense has often stagnated, relying on individual shot-making rather than fluid ball movement. Opponents seized on the weakened backcourt, pressing Indiana's guards into mistakes and limiting transition opportunities that once fueled Clark's highlight reel passes. The timing also alters how the league and fans will view Indiana's playoff chances. With Clark on the floor, the Fever were considered a dangerous dark horse capable of upsetting higher-seeded opponents. Without her, they are perceived as a team fighting to simply compete. Veterans now shoulder the burden of offensive creation, resulting in a team that works harder for every basket, but lacks the explosiveness Clark provided. For now, Indiana's postseason run will test the limits of what remains. The team has already made history by clinching back-to-back playoff appearances, something unseen in nearly a decade, but expectations have shifted. Instead of being seen as a rising threat, the Fever are now viewed as undermanned and overmatched without Clark. The question is no longer how far they can go, but whether they can salvage respect in a playoff court stacked with healthier, more experienced rosters. In the end, Clark's season-ending injury reshapes both Indiana's present and future. The Fever's playoff chances are significantly diminished, but the larger narrative is one of patience and perspective. This team was built around a rookie whose promise remains undeniable, and setbacks in year one will not erase that trajectory. Still, as the playoffs begin without her, the harsh reality is clear. Without Caitlin Clark, Indiana's hopes of a deep postseason run have gone from unlikely to nearly impossible.